Nicole Hitchcock, and I am a med-surg nurse. I've been a nurse for going on 12 years. I've been traveling for almost 3 years, and I have always traveled with my dogs. That's Freedom, and she's 10 years old, and we've had her since she was a puppy, and she's traveled with us since the very beginning. So she's been on lots of adventures. And then Sissy, can you look? Can you say hello? This is Sissy. She's 4. We rehomed her. We've only had her for a couple months. Well, it was never really any question. I mean, we had the dogs long before we ever decided to travel. We knew we were going to travel, and so it was just a no-brainer that they would go with us because they're just 4-legged kids. So we always planned on loading them up, taking them with us everywhere we go. They go. Finding housing can be a challenge. It definitely takes more forethought than, say, if you're just traveling by yourself or it's just the two of you. You know, finding places that are pet friendly, that don't cost 3 arms and 5 legs, in order to have them places that are safe for pets to be too. That seemed to be always our biggest issue, is just finding good housing that will let us have the dogs. But we just recently bought an RV, so that will no longer be a problem. You know, we spent 9 months out in Virginia, 16 hours from home working COVID, and it was just me, my husband, and the dogs. We didn't know anybody outside of friends that I made at work. So, I mean, we always have, you know, familiarity with us. Plus, when we were sick, when we actually got sick with COVID last year, my husband says it's the dogs that saved him, because they actually we had to get up and go outside and walk them. They had to be walked, they had to be taken care of, and so it forced him to kind of move. And, you know, now currently Sissy's over here rolling on the floor, like she's just rolling around on the carpet. Freedom actually is a 3-year cancer survivor. She cancer and had surgery 3 years ago, and our vet was like, I don't know how long you're going to have. Well, that was 3 years ago. And so, but our vet is amazing. Every time that we're in the area, we take them. We just take them in, let her see them, make sure everything looks good, and refill all of our medications then. There was a couple instances where we have had to find a vet in our local area, and I always consult our vet first, and she'll be like, yes, you need to go to a vet nearby or whatever. And then I always have records, you know, go both ways, so that our vet gets their records and vice versa. We were in Virginia, and we went on a lot of hikes out in Virginia because of COVID, and you couldn't really go and do things at places, but you could always go outside, and it's beautiful out there. And so we went on a lot of hikes, and yes, bulldogs can hike, just not very far. And so we were walking along this little water, like stream looking thing, and she just all of a sudden just jumped off the side of it, and bulldogs don't float. So I immediately had to like reach down and grab her harness and pull her up, and she just shook it off like nothing was, like, I meant to do that. And my husband and I, we laugh about that all the time. We're like, remember the dog when she jumped off in the water? I'm like, yeah, I remember. Bulldogs especially are prone to medical issues, so we have a medical history, and I keep all of that readily available for anybody that might need it. If, you know, something happens to us and they're trying to take care of our dogs, they each have a file on them with all of their information. And just being prepared and reading your animal's cues. You know, a lot of times we'll be on the road and we're ready to just get there. And it's like, wait a second, when's the last time we walked the dog? Maybe we should stop, and give them a few minutes to stretch their legs and drink the water and that kind of thing. So yeah, just being prepared and giving yourself time and being patient with your animals, because no matter what you do, where you go, whether you're going in an RV to a new spot or you're getting a new apartment or whatever, it's an adjustment period. They have to, so give them a time to adjust to their new environment, because it's only fair.